This is what people who don't really understand marketing miss all the time. I see this from so many of my developer friends, and I see this from people who just they don't have as firm a grasp on marketing as I have, or as maybe others listening to this podcast has. And so these are common mistakes that I see. I'm going to talk about two mistakes on this episode. And honestly, each of these mistakes deserves its own episode, but I'm going to put them into one. If you're a marketer, you will immediately understand these. Okay. Mistake number one that I have seen from so many of my developer friends. They work on a product, they work on a product, they work on a product. Maybe they take weeks, maybe they take months. Hopefully not months, because they're building in public and they're getting feedback along the way and they're doing mini launches along the way, but most of the time they're not. But they've worked on the product and they get it out and they're like, okay, now it's time to rest. And no. Whether you are a developer, whether you have made an info product, whether you've made a physical product, whatever it is, when you launch, that is the time to go your hardest. So something that I see is people will get to the launch and then they will take a break. And really what you should be doing at this time is talking to your users and talking to your customers, talking to the people who are looking at the product, considering the product, find out why they're not buying, people who are using the product, what do they want, what are they using the product for, what is their desired outcome, and you should be talking to these people all the time. I'm working on a product right now. It's a program on how to do bottom of funnel search engine optimization. It's videos, it's my templates that I personally use. And when I come out with this, I'm working on this all the time, but when I come out with this, I'm going to be going even harder. I'm going to be talking to everyone who's buying and checking out and finding out, why are you buying this? What are you trying to do? What do you want to get from this? If people tell me, oh, I wish this was explained clearer, and I hear that from a few people, I'm going to update it. I'm going to update it over and over again. I want my program to be so good that the word of mouth is crazy. And the time to do this is when you launch, because when you launch, that's when you get the highest influx of people checking out your stuff. It's when you launch. And that's why you have to go hard when you launch. Because if you wait too long, then the churn is going to be very high. The people are going to check it out, go, oh, can you do this? And then you're like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. But you take too long and then they get bored and then they forget about you and they leave and they don't come back even when the update is ready because you took too long. So going hard when you launch, this reduces your churn. This reduces the people who are going away. And it also actually increases your acquisition because you're giving good customer support, good user support. People are recommending you. People feel grateful and you're putting in the features. You're making the updates that people want. And so they are recommending you because of that. And because you are satisfying what they want. Oh, now this product can do this. This is exactly what I want. Let me send this to my friend. Let me send this to my colleague. Let me put this on my Instagram story. Let me put this on Twitter. And every new iteration causes excitement. It's a reason for excitement. It's a reason to do an announcement. It's a reason to put it on Instagram. It's a reason to put an announcement on Twitter. It's a reason to put an announcement to a newsletter. You can use all of this to build FOMO with people who have not purchased yet. Every announcement is an opportunity for top of mind awareness. Every announcement is an opportunity to have people think of your brand and of your product. And you can maximize all of this by iterating fast and talking to users and going hard right after a launch. So that is mistake number one that I see. It's people launch and then they don't go hard. They move way too slow. I cannot tell you how many people I have seen this from. You do a launch, you want to capitalize off it and reduce churn by giving your customers and users what they want. And I'm going to be doing this too. Then mistake number two, kind of talked about a little bit in mistake number one, but it's not having constant news to stay top of mind and to strengthen your brand. This is easy to invest in with automations. You can set up a Stripe automation. So when you hit certain milestones, then a tweet is pushed out, an Instagram story is pushed out, an image is created, and then you can manually upload that to Instagram. Or a reel is created. You can you can do all these things with automations. I used to have an automation for one of our companies, Reverb. And actually what happened was whenever we got a new customer, this was right when we launched Reverb, whenever we got a new customer, I would tweet out, new customer for Reverb. Here's how many customers we have. This is our MRR. And then we started getting customers too fast. So I had to change it to like only do one a day. And then the Twitter Zapier automation broke, doesn't work anymore because Elon Musk updated the API. Elon Musk's team updated the API. And now the only way to do that automation is to manually build it. But I still think that's a great idea. I still think that automation was great. I would tag every post with build in public and it got our company a lot of attention. But even if you don't have automations, You should always be thinking of news to say any change that you make, any iteration. This is why Build in Public is such a popular movement, because every update that you make, that is something that you can push out and remind people of your brand and of your product. As I am building my own product, I'm talking about it here to keep the product top of mind. When I make updates to the landing page or improvements or progress on my landing page, I am sharing that on my Instagram story. I am sharing that on Twitter. When I am making the product, that is going to be shared as well. When it's almost ready, that is going to be shared. Everything is going to be shared. When I get good reviews, that is going to be shared. When I hit customer milestones, that is going to be shared. Everything is going to be shared. You should have a constant stream of news. And I've seen this mistake before, and it just drives me crazy. And here's the thing about people. People, most of them are not going to purchase the first time. I'm aware of that with my product. People are not going to purchase it on the first announcement. It might take 2 announcements. It might take 3 announcements. It might take 6 announcements. People are bombarded these days. I joined one of the top crypto communities called Friends with Benefits. And this was a very popular community in 2020. Andreessen Horowitz invested in it at a $100 million valuation. And it was so hot. And honestly, even now, the people in this community are really, it's elite people in FWB.help. That's the name of the community. I heard about it when I was on a Lunch Club call. I've talked about Lunch Club on the show. It's like the best service to do remote networking. And I was living in Kiev and I was networking with top people, top business people all around, mostly the United States, but all around the world. And I talked to this one guy, crypto OG, just like me, even more OG than I am. And he said, you should join FWB.help. It's a DAO. It's a decentralized autonomous organization. You should join it. And I didn't join it, but he told me. And then I had a friend who was at Art Basel in Miami, and she told me, have you heard of FWB? And she was the second one. And when I heard that from her, I said, okay, I'm going to apply. I'm going to join this thing. And I applied. I got in. And it took me 2 reminders. It took me 2 reminders to join. And then the price of my tokens went from, I think, well, it was crazy. But it took me 2 reminders to join it. And that is the reality with products and brands. People need reminders to act. They need reminders to act. And so every bit of news that you can generate is a reminder to act. And that's why you need to have a constant stream of this. And if you iterate fast on a launch, you can have a constant stream of this. So this is 2 blind spots that I see from developers, that I see from business people, that I see from entrepreneurs, that I see from so many people. I just see it over and over and over again. And it's something that's a pet peeve of mine. And I can't wait to not make the same mistakes. This is episode 291 of The Edward Show. This is my daily growth hacking and growth marketing podcast. This one was a speedy one, and I really like this. I really like the format. I really like telling this one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.